I'm almost finished my southern tour. I'm here in absolutely gorgeous Tampa, Florida. This is a 3-day retreat organized by Anna Williamson. And I'm going to take you inside so you can meet all the wonderful people that are there stitching. And they're going to give us some pointers about going to retreats and offer some encouragement to those who have been thinking about it but have never been to a retreat. So come on in. And I want you to meet Nancy. And Nancy's, I'm surprising her here. So,
yes, you are.
Yeah, sneaking up on her. So this is Nancy's first retreat.
Yes,
and she came by herself.
I did.
So I want to hear a little bit about that.
Well, I have a friend that has gone to retreats before, and she's in Ohio, and she keeps telling me how great they are. And every time Anna does a lot of this, and I see it out there, and I think, oh, I would really like to go, but by myself and nobody else is going to go, it was kind of, scary. Not scary, but
it is
and
scary.
And I didn't know anybody, other than I knew who Anna was. When I see her, I know her.
Yeah.
But it was, and so I just bit the bullet and said no. It's within a 150 mile. I think I want to go.
So today is day 3, and when you got here, you didn't know anyone.
No.
But how about now?
Oh, I think I know them all. I think I can even name most of them.
That's fantastic. And I want to hear about this piece that you're stitching here.
Oh, what I'm stitching is a Kathy Barrick, and it's actually called Margaret. And there's a picture of a lady in it. And the reason I'm doing it is because that was my mother's name, and she was almost 97 when she died. It's only been about 4 years ago. And I don't know whether I have her genes or not, but if so, I might be around a little while. And I'll be anxious to come to more of these. That's for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Charlotte. And tell me about this frame and this project of yours.
I went into Hobby Lobby, loved the frame, and waited until I found the right picture to frame it in.
I think you made a marvelous choice. Just look at this. He knows he's home. That's just the right frame for him. Thank you so much. Charlotte, where are you from?
From Cocoa, Florida.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad that you're...
Which is on the East Coast.
Okay, and are you having a good time here at the retreat?
I love it here. I'd like to stay a couple more days if Anna would put up with all of us.
Well, I'm sure Anna will be doing another one.
I live across the bay in St. Pete, and I've been stitching since I was 5. I've been to quite a few retreats, and I fell in love with the retreat when I went to my first EGA conference. And so I just love coming to them. If I could do this like every weekend, I would. But Anne doesn't put them on every weekend, so. But I would be at every one if I could do that.
That's great. So let's see what you're stitching there.
My little thing is just a dimensions kit, and it finishes right in the frame, which is nice. So he'll be ready to, as soon as I'm done stitching and have the excess fabric cut off, he'll be ready to hang.
There you go. Thank you. So we go from very simple and small projects to things that are a bit more elaborate. What count fabric are we looking at here?
This is 25 count.
And you're stitching over one?
10 stitch.
Yes.
10 stitch over one. Yes. Okay.
And it is
and
Heaven and Earth.
Uh-huh. Heaven and Earth design.
It's one of the how do you say it? Novio Mermaid series.
That's gorgeous. Okay, and I'm going to sit down here. All right, so tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Michelle. I'm originally from Michigan, but have been a Floridian for almost 7 years, and I live in Hudson.
Okay, and what do you like about coming to retreats?
I love meeting new friends. We all start, talking about the thing we love the most as to why we're here, which is cross stitch. And learning, all the different things, meeting people such as yourself, and just, looking around and seeing what the different notions people have, the different frames we have, the different, we all love the same thing, but we work on different things. And they're all works of art in the end, which is great.
And here's another ambitious project here. This is a big one. Woo!
This is a big one.
So you're not planning to finish this weekend?
No. I started this in March, and I'm trying to do a block a month, but I'm behind. And this is Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. And what I did on this block is I did this in memory of my late husband. So I put his birth date, month, the year there, and then this is his name and when he passed away. So it'll be a nice remembrance for my daughter.
And you know that carries forward a tradition in needlework. There are what are known as mourning samplers that
Right.
have been done for hundreds of years that
Right.
that people would often stitch in the memory of someone special
So
to
this will
them.
be a big one for the wall.
Okay.
And then this is another family one that I'm doing with all my mom and dad's anniversary and our names, my daughter, my grandchildren, my brother, his children.
Okay, that's great.
And that's a Quaker.
Aha. And here we are, have had this nice chat with you, but tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Diana Zaslow from Bonita Springs, Florida. And I also have my own YouTube. I'm Dee's Delight Stitcher.
Okay, fun.
Love to be here with everyone.
All right, thank you for sharing that with us. Debbie, I think, has worn a different cross-stitch related shirt every day of this retreat.
I have.
So when you pack for the retreat, you know exactly what to bring.
You got it, 100%.
And if somebody was a first-time retreat goer, what would you recommend that they pack besides theme-related t-shirts?
Just comfortable clothes, t-shirt, shorts,
That's good advice.
sandals if it's hot.
There you go. And we have had incredible weather.
We have
for
very
this-
nice weather.
This retreat, yeah.
And plus maybe a coat in case the room does get a little chilly.
Say that again.
A coat or a sweater just in case it gets chilly.
Yeah, I always recommend that people bring something to dress in layers because
Yes.
it's really hard to keep any room the right temperature.
Yes, it is.
That makes everybody comfortable. All right, great. And you are stitching something colorful here. Oh, and I love your needle minder.
It's going to be a picture of a donkey. My cousin in California has donkeys for pets, and I'm making this for her, and it's a pattern I bought off of Etsy.
All right, great. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
recognize Carla's name from Facebook posts. And so this is the first time I think we've met face to face. But when I saw you here, I thought, I know that name. So what are you stitching here, Carla?
It's sampler of the month from Country Cottage Needleworks,
Okay. Oh, that is so cute.
and I get it once a month on a series.
Oh, nice. All right. So, any advice that you would offer a retreat goer as far as things to bring, things not to bring? What is something you left at home that you wish I had brought?
I don't know, whatever was in my car is what I brought.
So, have you come to other retreats before?
Oh yeah, I've been to several. I go to the Brick City ones and been to several of Anna's, day ones, overnight ones.
Okay.
Been
Good.
to one in Indiana last summer. We travel, so I signed up to go to the Indiana one that Carol Victory.
Yeah. So when you make your travel plans, you kind of look and see where there
Yeah.
might be retreats that you can connect with.
Right.
Super. That's a good way to plan a vacation.
Yep.
And I know Jennifer from a number of different retreats and whatnot, and she's working on a very long.
Yes, it's Carol Ricard, I Stitch on Facebook, and she puts out a part of it every week. This is the end of week 2, and week 8 is out. So I'm behind.
Well, that's okay, that's for sure. Because you actually have a couple things going on, because I see the retreat project there.
This was given to us by Patricia Hart. She's here, and she teaches for the Silver Needle, and she gave us all this kit.
Wow.
Yeah, I just met her this retreat. I did not know her.
Okay. Now, I heard somebody mention you're also a first-time stitcher?
No,
Or new stitcher?
I've been stitching for a few years. I I did it when I was a little girl with my mom. That's how I learned. But then I dropped it for a long time and then started back up probably 5 or 6 years ago. But since COVID started, I really kind of just fell into it. And
Got back into it. Well, good. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to our favorite pastime, that's for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And Elaine, you've got the most amazing name tag there. I mean, as if anybody needed to.
Well, because I don't know. I go to these things, so I may as well just have a permanent, kind of a thing.
Okay, and I'm looking at your chart.
I'll show you the picture, what it's supposed to be.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, and so
that's
you are what
so
we call
far
a,
I've gotten.
a cross-country stitcher.
Oh yeah, I do all the one color, and then go to the next color, and yada yada yada, yeah. And
Yeah, that's a different way of tagging
it is,
that's
and
for sure.
and I sew because self-taught years, and too many years to say. I used to go to the Walmart, what's it called, Woolworth, and get the kits and started. And I taught myself. I didn't know about frames or anything, so now I'm just so used to doing the sewing method that I can't change it. So
I don't, and I personally don't think you need to.
yeah,
So,
I'm
and there's
happy with it the way it is. So
and there's no apology needed when you say you're self-taught, because most of us have taught ourselves.
absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Melanie Hoover from Rockledge, Florida, over in Brevard County.
Okay, and show us what you're working on here.
I am working on a Dakota Rogers pattern.
So this is counted canvas.
This is counted canvas. I'm using Congress cloth, and it is Taos, Taos. And I'm taking a break from doing embroidery work on even weave. I love even weave. And I do a lot of black work and counted canvas and just plain old color on color, I like to call it.
Yeah, yep. Tone on tone.
Yeah.
So, what do you like best about coming to retreats?
It's a way to meet a whole bunch of people who are working on all kinds of different techniques and patterns and projects and just socializing, and a way to get away from the house for a few more days and make some new friends and learn how to work Facebook.
Okay. Any tips that you would offer somebody who is new to going to retreats?
Pack comfortable clothes. Be sure you have eye drops. Be ready with lighting and enough supplies or questions, and be very, very willing to look at everything that everybody has and see what works. See what works for you.
Good advice. Thank you. So we met Charlotte a moment ago when she showed us a project that she decided to stitch because she found a frame that she liked.
And that was my third counted cross stitch I have ever done.
That was the third one you ever?
My third
one. Oh my goodness, that tiger?
Yes.
That's fabulous. So tell me about coming to retreats. What does it mean to you? Why do you come?
My main purpose of coming is enjoying cross-stitching with other ladies who have the same interest. Then I look around and see the projects they're doing and just think everything is so awesome, and I just work on Ada and they're working on these fancy materials with the beautiful threads. It's really inspiring to see other people's creations. Love it.
Thanks, Charlotte, because I just know at a corner of my eye, I caught your little organization system here.
Oh, yes.
This is, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this before, where you have a picture of the project you're stitching on with, these are all the colors that you need for this project. I can't remember. Cool. That's a really good idea. And I think that's one of the things I really like about retreats is that people are sharing ideas.
That's right. And all the tools. I've never seen so many tools in my life.
Yeah. And you come away with new ways of doing things.
That's right.
And convenient tools and whatnot that you may not have ever seen before.
That's right.
Super. Now, you might recognize Kathy. She was in my video that I did about the Barefoot Retreat, which is where we first met. And tell me how you learned about this retreat, Kathy.
I learned about this retreat from you because when we started chatting and I said I was from Tampa, you said, oh, I'm going to be in Tampa in 3 weeks, and started telling me about the retreat. And I said, oh, I know the woman who's organizing that, Anna. So I texted Anna and said, can I get in? And she said, sure. So here I am, and it's been fun.
So that's another benefit of going to retreats is you get the word on other retreats and other classes and things to go.
Yes.
And we were
all
just
kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we were just talking about various tools, and I am intrigued by this apparatus. What is this that you have
This
here?
is my Patoki stand, and I love it. And the reason I love it is so versatile. You can work at any angle. Your needlework goes in like this. You can work at any angle. When I'm using my magnifier or something, I can get it at the right height. And this opens up to accommodate everything from the very thin Hardwick Manor hoop to a Q-snap. And what I love is once I've got it set up, when I want to tie off a thread, I just flip it over like that.
Wow.
And it is so easy.
So again, many of us, we see these things and we see them advertised, we hear people talking about them, but until we see them in use, it's really hard to know whether or not they will work for our own personal style of stitching. And that's another great benefit of coming to retreats.
And one of the things I've seen at this retreat is I wanted to know how the Omanic frames work. And so Anna brought hers, and I got to play with it and put it together and see how it really works.
Right, and you brought your Millennium frame.
I brought my
So
Millennium
people were
frame
able
for
to
her
see
to
how
see.
that one works. So again, the list goes on as far as reasons to come to retreats.
Yes, and it's fun. The bottom line is it's fun.
So Annette and I have found a little bit of a quiet corner here because we were just remarking of how different the room is now. Today is day 3. So what was it like on day 1?
Day 1, it was kind of quiet. People came in, they settled into what they were going to stitch. They sat there, they stitched, talked to their table mates. Today, there's laughing and giggling all over the place, and you can see the friendships being formed and the sharing of knowledge and the sharing of the love for our craft.
The other thing that I noticed too is like today there's more movement. There are people getting up and going and sitting at other tables, just even for a few minutes talking to people.
Yes.
It's just fascinating to get to know how different everyone's life is in terms of their age, their experience, or whatever. But then they come together with this common interest, this common passion.
Yes, and one project is nicer than another, and everybody's looking at what everybody's doing, and it's just wonderful. It's a great place to meet people, share our love, and maybe even get in some stitching.
Right, and in your case, you also sponsor your own stitching events, and so it's a bit of what we used to call a busman's holiday.
Right,
that you've come to another retreat.
Yeah, my friend Linda and I run 4 kind of themed retreats up in the New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey area. If you're up that way, stop by, and look us up on Facebook. It's Cross Stitch and More by Lynn Ann Events. Check out our event page.
Yeah, and I was scheduled to come up and teach at one of them the fall of 2020, I guess. And of course, it went by the way of so many things with COVID. So
and stuff. And
looking forward to.
We're going to talk about that, Jean.
Good, because I still have that Bargello project that I want to teach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for taking the time to chat a little bit.
This is awesome.
Okay. Thanks. And here we have a Santa Claus. That's gorgeous.
And it's from Country Garden Samplings.
Okay. And now, how did you hear about this retreat?
I've been attending Anna's retreats for a little over a year. Ever since COVID was over with.
Okay.
I love them.
All right. Well, good. And let's see. You're over there taking notes. Are you taking names? Are you like the person who's going to tell who the troublemakers are?
Yeah. Oh, that's just us, right? That's just our table. So sharing email addresses.
So what do you like best about coming to retreats?
The friendship. I've made friendships. Met Elaine in Pennsylvania, and she moved to Florida.
No, I met you in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Then in Pennsylvania.
And then. So I met her at 2, and I just like the friendship, meeting new friends. Met Bobby.
It kind of reminds me of the old quilting bee sort of thing, where you get together and you talk about stitching, but you end up talking about a lot of other things too.
Oh gosh, do we ever? This table got really into a lot of things.
Okay. And one of the benefits for me in coming to this retreat is I got to meet Dawn Fisher from Morning Glory Designs, and it's always nice to talk to a fellow designer. So I want to take a peek at what you're stitching here, Dawn. Is this part of that sampler that you were showing me earlier today?
Yes, this is from 1709, and I'm reproducing it. It's a very unusual, it's 300 years old. It's beautiful. The original is actually reversible, and it's done in lovely colors. This is 46 count linen, and I'm reproducing it using crescent or classic colorwork silks, or Belsois silks as they were formerly known, to match the original colors on the back of the sampler that are unfaded. So it's got a lot of really pretty bright colors. This section is all a satin stitch alphabet, and the previous section was eyelet alphabets.
Right. And this is a really long or tall sampler, so we were talking at lunch about what a challenge it is to reproduce it, and this is something that I'm not going to show you the original yet, because that's Dawn's story to tell. But we were talking about it's going to be a while before this one gets ready to be published. But when you see it, you are going to be absolutely blown away at this exquisite piece.
It's very complicated. I had to break it into sections, each section, because this is the third section of it. Some of the sections are done over 3 threads. Some of the sections are done over 4 threads. There's a few things done over 2 threads. So it's pretty intense, but it's fun. I'm having a really good time stitching it and reproducing. The girl's name was Sari Outfield, and she started it in 1709, and then at the very bottom of the sampler, in little teeny letters or numbers squished in the corner, it says 1710, so that must be when she finished it.
Sounds like a really honest little girl.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have her age. I wish I did, but she was probably a young girl, and she stitched it in silk on 46 count linen, so I'm reproducing it on the 46 count linen using silk threads.
And so now I'm sitting here with the mastermind behind the whole weekend, Anna Williamson.
Hi, Jean.
So first of all, this has just been an absolutely beautiful facility. You did a great job choosing it. Food's been good. All the people here at the hotel have been fabulous. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this whole thing of putting retreats together.
Okay. We moved to Florida 10 years ago from Texas, and I started getting involved with the cross-stitch community down here. I've been stitching since 1984. And one thing I noticed was that although most of the shops here were having events, they could not hold enough events to satisfy the demand. So in about 2016, I decided just to do a small local get-together to see how it would go over. We had 8, and it was here in my local community. It went over pretty well. Over the next few years, I went ahead and did 1 or 2 when I could, because I was still working full-time. That my background is project management and planning, and I was working for a major wireless company at the time. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to do more than maybe one a year. In 2019, I accepted a buyout offer and then retired. So I started planning a few more for 2019, and I was going to really kick it off in 2020. Well, the pandemic happened and everything stopped. And then 2021, I picked it up again and was just going to do a few, but then I ended up doing about 10 of them, I think, in 2020. And so it's just gone, that's how it's gone. It's just bloomed from there.
Well, I think the thing that we have all figured out is that even though cross stitch is a very solitary pastime, people love to get together with other people who share their passion.
Absolutely. It's very social activity, even though it's also a solitary one.
So what are your plans going forward? What do you have going on for the rest of this year and into next year?
Okay, for this year, my next event is going to be in Orange Beach, Alabama at the end of April. In June, I've got 2 events, and I don't know how I managed to do this, but I've got one in Melbourne, Florida, the first weekend of June, and then I've got another one in Branson, Missouri, the middle of June. Then in July, I'm going to be hosting an event in Huntsville, Alabama. We have Nancy Greenberg from Pickle Barrel Designs coming in to teach a class there. And then a small one in September up in the Florida Panhandle. And then in October, I partnered with the Cross Stitch Cupboard, Karen Owen down there. We're bringing in Isabel Argante from the Primitive Hair for a big retreat up in the Northeast Florida. And by the way, I forgot, we also have one in Jacksonville in August.
Wow, so you have really been one busy lady, working on a lot of different things. So this has been a splendid retreat. It's just so well organized, and you can tell that you're passionate about needlework. And in a moment, I want to share what was in our goodie bag, because you did a fabulous job with that. You did a great job with the door prizes, and I just want to congratulate you with having just such a fabulous operation. It's been great.
Well, thank you. As far as the goodie bag is concerned, I always try to find things that the stitchers can use. Most of them come from stitchers for stitchers, and I just want to make sure that they go away with a fabulous experience. That's my entire goal.
Well, I think you have reached it and then some, so congratulations on a great weekend.
All right, thank you.
My Southern tour has been a whole lot of fun. I have enjoyed every bit of it, and there have been just so many different parts. The 3-day retreat was a fabulous way to begin to bring it all to a close. Tomorrow I teach at an EGA in Sarasota, and then I start heading for home. So I am been thrilled to bring you along on part of this journey, and I hope that by watching these little snippet conversations that I had during the 3-day retreat, that it will motivate you to find out about them and to join us on one of them, because it sure would be great to see you at a retreat or a class or a cruise or someplace where our paths can cross and we can get to know each other and stitch together. So between now and next week, stitch happy, stay safe, and I'll see you then.